So, do you want to ask a question first, or?
Rephrase the question.
Yeah. Do you ever find that you go within and you get some idea or some spur of inspiration with whatever creative process you're engaged in outside of meditation?
Right. Well, I'll share one experience. I decided to do an in-residence. I'm looking at you, though. I decided to do an in-residence TM course for the weekend. And so obviously I was not training during that time. And what you don't realize is when you're training every day, it's important to have a daily practice, but also if you don't allow yourself the time to rest, you kind of get stuck in your ruts. It's like writer's block, or basically you're unconscious. You're not so aware of what you're doing, and so kind of the karmic patterns that you've trained yourself in, you get stuck in those and they keep repeating. So basically when you bring more consciousness in, it creates more spaciousness. And out of that spaciousness comes creativity. So instead of just kind of unconsciously reacting or acting out the old patterns that you've programmed in, suddenly there's new creative emergence that happens. So I spent the weekend meditating, came back to jiu-jitsu out of shape, obviously. I hadn't trained in 4 or 5 days. But what was happening is I found I wasn't gripping as tightly, I wasn't straining as much, and just physically relaxing, it creates the opportunity for you to be aware. There's more consciousness there, so suddenly all these creative moves are coming out that you never would have thought before when you're just so attached, like physically, literally attached and locking yourself out. But if you relax a bit and you're more present, conscious, you bring that consciousness into what you're doing, suddenly all this stuff you've never even thought to try, you're just more spontaneous and creative, is coming out. And it's just the same as in writing poetry or writing an academic paper. Same thing for me. Writing academic papers, that's also a grappling match, and every time I write a paper, it's a mess at first, and it's sometimes, yes, you have to kind of give the time that it demands for you to kind of finish and go through your process, but it's kind of the moments that you step away from it and allow things to digest and create some space, that then you come back and suddenly this mess you've made, this jungle, suddenly like the puzzle pieces are fitting together in ways you never thought was going to happen. So it's again rest and activity, like allowing the process to take its course and get messy and show up every day and have it going on, but then to take the space away from it so that when you come back you kind of see with new eyes. And same thing in martial arts, it's like, training hard, but then having the time to go meditate, take a TM course, and then suddenly you're coming back with more consciousness, and that's how you're improving. It's like you're staying back a bit, witnessing what's going on, and then the creativity comes out, so you're not so set in unconscious patterns. And that's all I have to say about that.
Okay.
Great.